This video displays the patented Consultex rotor display coater. It is an ideal method for the application of low viscosity chemicals. Since the add-on quantities are metered with a flow monitor, the machine operator has the ability to adjust the desired add-on quantity on the fly. In this video, we are using the Consultex coater as an offline coater to apply a food-grade anti-fog to an oriented polystyrene sheet.
Today's trial will be conducted at the Consultex facility in Spartanburg, South Carolina on an offline coating system. On this offline coating system, we unwind and pass through a corona system and then through our rotor spray system. Here we are looking at a series of rotors that are driven by a serpentine belt supplied by a supply pipe. For the purpose of this trial, we have left the covers of the rotor carrier off. After coming through the rotor carrier, we will pass by, but not used or necessary for thicker films as we are spraying today. We go through a smoothing roll which will iron out the droplets that are sprayed by the rotor carrier through a drying system over, down, and into the winding system. Control panels seen here are not indicative of a standard control panel delivered with a system. It is oversized so that it can run the functions of the entire offline coater. The rotor carrier comes equipped with a shutter system that opens and closes, allowing the spray to exit the rotor carrier when desired. At this position, you can now see that the shutter is opened, which would normally allow the spray to exit the rotor carrier and onto the web. If the line would shut down or a web breakage occur, the shutter would then close. The Consultex patent encompasses a windowless rotor spray system. It is what allows the spray to exit in a total uniform manner. Part of the standard equipment with a rotor carrier is width adjustability. This allows the operator to bring the width of the rotor carrier inward towards the web, prohibiting spray from passing around the sides of the film. For the purposes of this trial, we have a web narrower than what the width adjustability allows, and we have masked off the sides with additional covers. Once ready to run production, the line speed starts, the shutter opens. Once the web is wet, the smoothing roll will engage. Once the smoothing roll has engaged, the droplets are ironed out to nice even film onto the sheet. Here the droplets are visible after spray. Before and after the smoothing roll, total uniform spray. And the droplets disappear after the smoothing roll, giving an absolute perfect uniform application of a chemical.
Consultex can only guarantee the machine will work with those chemicals that have been tested to be sprayable. Consultex is also not responsible for any scratches in the film or sheet that are a result of the extrusion process. Consultex Systems invites you to visit their facility in Spartanburg, South Carolina to run a trial with your product. Thank you for your consideration and attention. This video displays the patented Consultex Rotor Display Coater. It is an ideal method for the application of low viscosity chemicals. Since the add-on quantities are metered with a flow monitor, the machine operator has the ability to adjust the desired add-on quantity on the fly. In this video, we are using the Consultex coater as an offline coater to apply a food-grade anti-fog to a polypropylene sheet.
The principal layout of this offline coating system is that we unwind at this station here. We pass underneath into the Corona system, underneath this roll here, up into the rotor carrier, which is presently running and pumping chemical but not spraying. From there we go up through this smoothing roll, through the dryers, over, and wound. The control station that operates the system is up against the wall. This is not your typical control station since it is responsible for this entire offline coater. We're going to go ahead and engage the Corona system by turning on the line and allowing the unit to start spraying. Normally at this position we would have a collector tray capturing any spray that were to pass around or through a web. Since we have taken that out for the purposes of making this film, we have masked off the sides that go beyond the normal and standard width adjustment. Okay, let's turn the system on. What you hear in the background is the hot air blower. The infrared system is engaged as well. We're going to go ahead and engage the line even though the dryer hasn't totally turned on. The Corona system, now that the line is operational, is engaged. Visible by this beautiful purplish light. At present we are spraying onto the web. This is before the droplets come through the smoothing section. We're going through a spreader roll, and here the droplets are before the smoothing and then after the smoothing. You can see the droplets totally disappear. In the event a line breakage, what would normally happen is that the smoothing roll would disengage, as so. And then the spray would normally shut off, but we're doing this to simulate what it actually looks like with it spraying. Okay, smoothing roll engages, and immediately we have a nice enclosed layer of the chemical on the surface of the film. If in the event a line breakage were to occur or the machine were to shut off, we would turn off the smoothing roll and close the shutter of the rotor carrier. Shutter closes, smoothing roll disengages. The machine is at a stop. If we were ready to engage again, we would start spraying first. The spray starts to spray, the line begins to move. Once the line is wet, the smoothing roll engages. From this angle, we can now see the droplets on the sheet and a layer of chemical between the smoothing roll and the sheet so that the smoothing roll is not in direct contact with the plastic sheet. Normally there would be covers over the rotor section to keep any chemical from potentially contaminating the belt. Okay, this is with the shutters open on the rotor carrier, allowing a good view of the insides of the rotor carrier. Normally we would have the width adjustment pushed all the way over as we do on the other side to keep the spray from going beyond the sheet. I want to show how it looks with the shutter closed. This would happen either if the machine is out of operation, or the machine came to a line stop, or a sheet break.
Consultex can only guarantee the machine will work with those chemicals that have been tested to be sprayable. Consultex is also not responsible for any scratches in the film or sheet that are a result of the extrusion process. Consultex Systems invites you to visit their facility in Spartanburg, South Carolina to run a trial with your product. Thank you for your consideration and attention.